My mum was a really busy lady with 5 children and a husband who really required a lot of work. She actually never stopped. Her life was a hard life in many ways. She was very unsupported in many ways. And so, with 5 children and mountains and mountains and mountains of washing and housekeeping to attend to, and then cooking on top of the housekeeping and the children's homework, and then my father rolling in and out of the door 3 to 4 times a day, changing his suit, changing his shirt, changing his tie. There was a lot going on in our small little cottage. And you can't help but take a lot of that information in as a child. But some of the most precious memories and some of the most precious times in my life were the few moments where my mum got to sit down, make herself a hot cup of tea, and sit on the back step. Now, you wouldn't believe that sitting on the back step with your mum, just watching the washing dry, the 50 or so nappies that were hanging on the line with all the rest of the items, you wouldn't think that that was going to be a special moment in your life. And yet those moments sitting on the back step with my mum, her drinking her hot cup of tea and me drinking a very milky cup of tea with her, were some of the best and happiest moments of my life. And I watched my mum all my life work extremely hard. Not only did she work physically very hard, she worked emotionally very hard, because she was a natural born healer. She was the one that everybody went to with their problems, whether it was her child or somebody else's child or the kids down the street that she didn't even really know. Somehow my mother became the go-to person. She was really a Mother Earth, even if she had never anticipated being that Mother Earth. And I guess I just wanted to share my perspectives of what's important during my own beautiful childhood, which was filled with ups and downs and filled with lots of very difficult moments. My father, being an ex-World War II veteran, was quite explosive by nature and then quite traumatized after the war. That just added to the continual explosions that happened throughout our day. So we were children that were brought up feeling like we were kind of treading on eggshells, treading around the edges of things, always trying to avoid the next explosion with Dad. And whilst they didn't last very long, they certainly disrupted your day. They certainly had a lot of impact on his 5 children. And somehow our mum, through all of that, somehow she was the keeper of the calm. She was that calm place that you went to when you wanted shelter from the world. She was that fun place that you went to when there was no other fun to be had. She was the keeper of all of our secrets. She was that person who allowed you to be exactly who you were. And she allowed you to express anything you needed to express. Getting hold of 5 minutes with Mum was quite an effort, as I said. We would grab 5 minutes on the back steps, have a cup of tea together, watch the washing dry, and talk about the world. And I wonder these days how often our precious mums get to do just that with their kids. Now I look at our young mums who are really serving so many masters. They're not only serving their children and their partnerships, they're serving their extended families, they're serving perhaps a career path, they're serving maybe things that they're following that aren't so healthy for them to follow, and feeling this huge pressure about who they have to be or how they have to be or how they have to behave. I kind of feel like a lot of our young mums are running alongside a kind of an outside checklist about how to do things. And I'm not here to tell you how to be a mum, because a mum is a brilliant, amazing individual who needs to trust her amazing intuitive instinct. And nobody has a better instinct than you. You're the mum. You have a great instinct about what your children need. You have a great instinct whether they're not well or they're suddenly not behaving normally. You have an instinct when something is not quite right with your child. You have an instinct about the people around you. What's good, what's not so good. What I guess I'm trying to say here is, I'd like you to all take a moment and really look at what you're following. And why are you following that person? Because you don't need to follow anybody. The person you need to trust, the person you need to listen to, the person you need to give credit to is yourself. And when you turn off all the outer noise of the world and you start really listening to the inner voice, the inner intuition of yourself, this will always guide you to what is your next correct move for you. With all the different personalities in the world, of course, everybody mothers differently. Your way of mothering might not be my way of mothering. But in your unique self, there are beautiful, unique gifts and beautiful, unique talents that you are bringing forward and paying forward to the next generation that are following you. The greatest gift in the world you have to give is just showing up as your authentic self. Showing up as the mum who is listening, the mum who is paying attention, the mum who gives herself time to be present with her children. And if you're serving way too many masters, that's going to get really tricky. It's going to get really difficult. So take a little bit of time for yourself today and just think about how many masters you're actually serving. Write them down on a list if you have to, and see where you can perhaps give yourself permission to rearrange the priority list. Rearrange the time, this precious time you have with your children, because it's never coming back. Once those beautiful children grow up and go out into the world, they're never coming back. Maybe to do their washing, maybe to have the occasional meal, but once their wings are on, they're not coming back. So treasure this time, make the most of this time. Find some time to listen, to turn your phone off, to put your computer down, to look your children in the eye, into their soul, and be with who that soul is. This is Wendy sending you lots of love, and we'll talk again soon. Bye for now.